So funny.
Very much sounds like something that would happen to somebody unfortunate.
It is, it's a green tech story. It's like it's possible. That's where
Yeah,
the
it's
allure is.
100%
It's
possible.
possible.
That's what makes it funny. It's possible.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, what's wild about that movie, the Digimon the movie in particular, is that it was actually like
Three movies,
edited.
right?
Yeah, it's like 3 different
Yeah.
movies like edited together for a Western release.
And they don't make sense at all
They
put
don't,
together.
because the original context of like the like
Yeah.
more
I think I
existential.
I think we might have watched the same like review video in the last 6 months because I just learned this too. Where I was like, "Oh, that explains so much. None of that made sense. I'm not the only one. Hell yes."
What's funny is that the dubbing team had like such a like ghost stories level of don't give a fuck when it came to like actually doing the dub. It was so funny. Like just so many bits of it just straight up were not congruent and like so like why is your mom giving us potato juice? I don't know. She's on a health kick. She got a new juicer.
I remember that line. I remember that. But like on the other hand, like that was honestly, it's great.
That's what
It's
made it so
fantastic.
fun.
Yeah.
I loved the corny jokes. I thought that's what made it so funny. Like,
Yeah.
oh God, just the fucking third part where they're fighting Kokomon, and it's like the 3rd generation fucking Digimon
Yes.
or whatever it is.
The thing that
Fucking-
stuck out to me the most there is like it was sweet, they got a rabbit with machine guns. Fuck
Mhm.
yeah.
I remember the Drillmon. His name was just Drillmon. Like,
I thought it was cool as fuck.
he was so cool. He was so cool. But honestly, nothing will ever top the second film, like the second short in that one with like the Omnimon.
Remind me. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it was the virus or whatever.
yeah, Diaboromon.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I love that so much. It was so cool. That was literal like coolest cool guy vibes. Oh god, just peak childhood for me right there. That fucking I remember that so vividly because I had an assignment in like 3rd grade where we had to like write a story and like illustrate it. I basically just drew that like movie. Like I just drew that part of the movie for this assignment, and I got like 100 on it because the teacher was like, "This is so creative," and I was like, "She'll never know." This was plagiarism.
So was Shakespeare, right?
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, so for everybody's situational awareness, there's a franchise on Island called Uproll Cafe that sells sushi burritos, and they are real good. I definitely recommend them. Except I would say if you get them, get extra like sauce, whatever sauce you get like 2, because I don't think they give enough sauce with the burritos themselves. It's a think like a giant roll, but like the size of a burrito. Like I got a spicy salmon roll with like a miso mayo, like a sesame miso mayo, and a like half brown rice, half white rice. It's real good. It's real good.
Papa rice.
Have any what? Maybe. I think. Possibly.
I mean, I'm sure. I don't know what you want to count a California roll as, but I'm sure you could put that in both buckets.
Oh, for sure. Oh, that's fair.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, maybe that's not
Uh,
the place for you. Though.
maybe going to a sushi
Actually, you know
joint
what?
might not.
They probably got like a tamago roll or something that's
Probably.
non-fish,
I'd have
or
to
like
double
the
check.
eel or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
unagi
Oh,
would be a good one.
unagi.
Hey.
Ooh.
Hey, hey,
Hello.
hey.
We got a Reese. Alrighty. So, are we? Oh, you found it? Oh, there you go. Ooh. Okay.
For a second, I thought you meant 20 cents for a bag of chicken. I was like, that is
That's
too
they're-
good to
wouldn't
be
eat
real.
chicken.
that's the gizzard. They're getting rid of the entrails for 20 cents.
I'm
I would
okay
not
with
eat
that.
that.
I'm okay with that.
Well, yeah, you need chum for fishing, so you're good.
Hey, if you deep fry it enough, it's fine.
Yeah, just throw it in the air fryer 3 or 4 times. You'll be good.
Oh my
I
god.
can't-
I
can't
mean,
do
honestly,
gizzards.
if you eat a hot dog, I mean,
It's the same. It's the same thing. You're giving a dead pig a rim job if you eat a hot dog. Like I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's the case. Why? I have a point of psychic damage to go. I have to keep a running psychic damage tally.
I think I'm at like 3, 4.
DM notes. Yeah, I think so. DM notes, add handout. Hang on. This is very important. Psychic damage.
Although real quick, your story of bullshitting your story thing in school reminded me of a time that me and my best friend, we had this assignment in history class. We had to write a 2-page paper, and they had all the stipulations on like it couldn't be double spaced, font had to be this size, yada yada yada. Well,
Mhm.
we increased the margins on that bullshit. We double spaced it. And we increased the font size, and we made it to a solid 3/4 of a page. Not 2 pages at all. But we made this stupid little skit play thing about this historical character we were supposed to be writing about, and we got an A on it. Our entire project, our poster, our report, fucking garbage. Straight garbage. And this like little play that we made up in like less than an hour, like 2 days before this thing was like needed to be presented. And she gave us an A. Yeah,
Amazing.
talk about bullshitting your way to an A.
Alrighty. So, we're all here. We're all ready to go. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. So, session 11, titled Beauty is in the Eye. And we have a forward.
I'm sorry. we get psychic damage?
Don't worry about it.
Sir.
Listen. At some point, it will be allocated. At some point.
Yeah,
Look, we're
immediately
going
before we
in
go to
half
reseal the
increments here.
gate.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so session 11, Beauty is in the Eye. But I'm gonna mix up the forward this time. I would like somebody else to give the forward. Whoever thinks that they took sufficient enough notes or thinks that they could gussy up the goings on of last session, and if it's cohesive enough with the note taking or theatric enough, so to speak, I might be so inclined to grant some inspiration.
Anyone else want to go at it?
Not I.
I know Jeff got kidnapped, and yes, that's the part that was relevant to my character.
You're right on track. You're killing it. Nat, do you think you might be able to do it?
Like going off of memory?
Sure.
I don't take
If
notes.
I
That's
say if
fair.
not, I did take notes.
Okay, well, let's it sounds like Tori's got it, so let's let
Yeah,
Tori try to
well-
give the recap or the forward.
Okay, so last time on the Firebrand Odyssey, the party finished up a few odds and ends on the island of Lockjaw before setting off on a small schooner loaned to them by Luca. We then traveled to the crevasse in search of Luca's friend, Vetra. We were given a small green handkerchief with which to prove our allegiance and thus exonerate us from any trouble. We arrived in a kind of swampy, morass, dark, forbidden forest type area. Not ominous at all. Don't worry about it. And there was a trail leading deeper in, and this trail was lit by these strange purplish torches that somehow were the only thing that seemed to push back the ever-present fog that blocked vision, and it, of course, didn't add to the creepiness at all either. The party followed this path um, and eventually made it to a small clearing where there was a little bit of the path on the other side, and we set off to follow that, but quickly found ourselves fucked as the path had disappeared. But what did appear was the undead, and lots of them, and then more of them, and then more of them. And it was not a great time as the bard, the intrepid Jeff, or as I like to call him, Guy, had just been kidnapped by a pair of ghouls, and is still currently AWOL, or rather MIA. The party, after very nearly experiencing a party wipe, some of the smarter members decided to make a fucking run for it, while the others stayed to potentially die. Fortunately, we were able to rally and save them with the timely appearance of Vetra and her holy magics. And she led us to ruins where she had been taking shelter. And while discussing things with her, she quickly became suspicious of us. And without the green handkerchief that was on the aforementioned kidnapped bard, it was a little hard to do that. Thus,
right.
Saudi had to dig back into her pea brain and find the memory about asking about the last conversation Vetra had with a NPC we have not met before. This was enough to get them to stand down, and then we, with talking to her, learned about the weird fleshy eye monster, the biblically accurate angel, as I like to think of it.
The hovering meatball.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Be not afraid. How you doing? Be more afraid.
and I did forget to mention that we are safe in these ruins because our cleric was maintaining a very big bubble, keeping the ridiculous amount of undead out, like World War Z amount of like zombies and bullshit.
And then we told her to go to bed.
Yeah, and she promptly passed the fuck out, and the bubble went away. And just as we were discussing whether this weird biblically accurate flesh meatball with an eye thing was real or in their head, it appeared. Fortunately, one of our members was able to communicate to Crash their predicament, as we had learned about some of the dangers of this creature from Vetra before unconsciousness took them from us. And then another member also saw this, but didn't mention to Crash what had happened, and thus was not blinded, and I believe that is where we left off.
All right. pretty comprehensive notes.
Question, Tom.
Yeah, answer Reese.
How long has it been since we left the battle?
Since you left the battle,
Yeah.
it's been probably like the big horde battle,
Yeah.
probably 5 minutes. Maybe
Okay, cool. So my Fae is still here too.
the Fae. I thought you dismissed the Fae at the
Did
end of
I?
the last battle. Yeah, I believe you did.
You sent him as we were rescuing people after Fetcher showed up.
Yeah, you're right. I did.
You're using it to pull
Gaia.
Gaia off
Gaia.
the field, and then as
Mhm.
soon as we got Gaia free, you sent it
I
into the
did
fray to
dismiss it.
block.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I left it on the other side and then dismissed it once we. That's right. Yeah.
So
Okay.
Oh yeah, and the gunslinger Tinkerer used magic.
yeah, that was
Mhm.
interesting. Lots of mud water.
Yeah.
So as a second part to this, I wanted to ask. I also wanted to change things up a little bit and ask everyone a possibly topical question regarding the characters. Whether or not your character believes in it, how does your character feel about the afterlife?
Crash
So-
has literally been there.
So I guess we'll go in order. We'll go with Reese. What does Crash, not necessarily like the belief of it, but what does Crash feel about the afterlife?
Crash both fears and welcomes the oblivion that he believes the afterlife is. He's completely lost faith in his god because when they died, they didn't go to Grozitz. Like they didn't even go to Grumsh. Like
Grasset's glorious glory hole.
yeah. Yeah, they didn't go anywhere. They just went into nothingness. And so even if it means like they basically think they're not going to go into afterlife and will just return to the earth and stone with this stone curse. So they kind of couldn't give two shits. They don't want their friends to die.
Right.
And would feel like guilty if they died again without being able to protect their friends. But at this point, they're too detached to try for a second time.
Fair enough. Jeff, what does Jeff think about the afterlife?
It's pretty standard, whatever. It doesn't really think about it a lot. It's pretty standard, whatever the surrounding beliefs are. I guess just assuming that there's some form of afterlife that is kind of beyond his understanding, and he hasn't really ever tried to as a result.
So kind of agnostic about it.
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Let me check his wiki real quick.
Yeah, let's see what religious denomination Jeff Probst is.
He might be Catholic, honestly. I gotta double check this. That's why I want to look it up, because I think he might actually be fairly religious. Let's see, personal life. No, but he does have like a fascination with like I don't know, psychology. So he's kind of like thinks about it as a more cerebral thing. It's something he might have like accepted as an inevitable part of life, but not something that he really feels like connected to or like has a strong identity with.
Interesting. What does Sadi think about the afterlife?
Well, until fairly recently, Saudi would have never thought about it at all because nobody teaches orphaned street pickpockets religion. I guess it depends how religious or how much religion there was on the Shrike. I can't imagine a lot.
In terms of, I think Yona, the Dragonborn, would have been the most somewhat religious, just because of her fealty to, or her belief in her god, one of not a nautical sense, a lord of a god of storms and fair winds, and essentially a nautical patron to seafaring travelers, but not anything that she would necessarily force. And there was probably many lessons that she tried to invoke to Sadi, but whether Sadi listened at all is up to Sadi.
Okay, so she probably until recently had like some like thought, like was like vaguely aware that it kind of like existed, like whatever Yona had like passed along.
Mhm.
But recently we had this weird experience in an odd liminal space with this like weird floating round thing that did crazy shit. And it also made Saudi really smart. So I imagine some of that knowledge is also of religion. So
I
long
mean,
story short, they're probably pondering it, and they feel like maybe they've even kind of been there in a way, although the afterlife was not how the orb described the where we are question, but imagines that it might be a lot like that, and it's probably kind of been thinking about it when the opportunity arises, but they've been so obsessed with their tinkering.
What does Gaia think about the afterlife? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Anything further to expand upon, or just? Right. Fair. Fair. All right. Well, we'll have to see. We'll see if the rolls
End of
can.
statement. Abrupt end of statement.
I'll let you go. Fair enough. All right. Understandable.
He do be holding something.
And Zozie, what does Zozie think about the afterlife?
So, like, he's still a bear.
Yeah, fair.
So I mean, like, he knows eventually he's gonna die. But since like awakening and like seeing a couple people get buried, he now kind of believes that like you die and then like you go into dirt and then like you come back as a tree or some roses or
Interesting.
some shit.
I never really considered it from like an animal's perspective on whether or not there is something after. Like, death is obviously a very natural part of the cycle, and it's a very everyday part of being an animal. But whether or not there's something on the other side, like,
I mean,
that's interesting.
technically, Crash came back as a rock. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah,
not just a
so-
tree. You just come back as nature sometimes. It's just kind of around here, around these parts. Shit, who's to say?
There's a roulette wheel with random elements on it, and
Let's see who gets water. All right.
Eventually, yeah. That's how he thinks it works now. Now that he has, awareness.
So he's just gonna come back as a fireball. Well, I mean, I guess based on the second character, I guess that's somewhat accurate. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
All right, cool. I have one bonus question, and to the victor go the spoils. For a free point of inspiration, a free use of inspiration, which means a free advantage on a saving throw, attack roll, or skill check of your choice Whenever you would like to use it, there is a question. What color is Vetra's magic?
Ooh. Is there a buzzer thing? Bzz. Buzz, it's gold.
I thought it was green.
Sure.
I feel like that's wrong.
So we got
Do we
green.
just throw it out? Like,
Everyone gets one. Everyone gets one.
okay. Lavender.
Tori, what you got? Oh wait, Tori said gold.
Yeah, I think I just stuck on the sunburst thing.
Chad said blue. Titus said green. Nat, you got anything?
Like I don't know why, but I also want to say it was green, but I might be thinking of something else.
I think Crash is right.
Crash do be correct. Reese gets inspiration for.
I
as long as that's
remembered. I
Okay.
remembered because at one point you said like amethyst, and I was like, "Ooh, gems."
Fair. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I got stuck on the sunburst that she cast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah, I can understand that. So, to set the scene, we have two different kind of scenarios happening. I would like to address the situation that is happening currently with Jeff.
Awesome.
And to do that, we will change up the music a little bit. Something a bit more appropriate. So, now, I don't know if everybody can see this map. I don't believe so, but Jeff should be able to see. Is that correct, Jeff?
Yes, if I scroll all the way over. Yes.
Can anybody else see what's going on in this map? If not, I can make a.
I can't.
Okay.
No, I can't.
Gotcha. Give me 1 second. I will make a bogus token called Site Token. And can be controlled and edited by. Let's say all players. There we go. And then I will make just right here. So we'll put site token right there, and then as vision, boom. Vision on. 60. All right. Can we see now?
Then there was light.
All right. You
I
still
can
can't see?
see. If you scroll all the way over,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
you got to scroll
On
all
the
the way
right
to the
side.
right. Yep. Yep.
All right. I will put that.
okay,
so- Jeff. Starting off where we left you. You come to consciousness in a dark, dank, crypt-like dungeon. You see bodies and corpses strewn and chained up on the walls, manacled, in different states of desiccation and disembowelment, with just the slightest bit of light shining through a crack in the wall. In this room with you are possibly a little less than a half dozen, or it could be a full dozen. Nope, half dozen, disheveled, desiccated-looking, just skin and bone-looking sailors, of different ilks, in different garb and tattered clothing, that look to you in a look of, what do we do? From what you saw, a robed figure had taken one of these sailors out down a hallway and had slammed closed the door behind them, apparently locking it. What would you like to do?
So it's just me and these prisoners stuck in our place.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Let's see. I um, I'm just looking at and trying to remember what I got available to me. I guess I'm gonna start out with just inspecting the room. Do you want me to roll an investigation or perception or
Yeah,
just
give me a
to
give
get a
me
general like lay of the
give me a perception
Yeah.
check.
oof.
With a 10. You're kind of in like a lowered area from where you are. It's somewhat something of a pit. It has these two access ramps that kind of come up. Apparently, these robed figures are handy accessible. That kind of comes down into this lower area, and there's two doors on either side, here and here. And there's also a pair of torches on sconces that provide a small amount of dim light, but it's still kind of a strain on the eyes. The most light that you're getting is coming from a crack high up in the wall, probably about 10 to 15 feet on this wall to your east.
Sorry, could you repeat that? You cut out for a sec.
Oh, sorry. Where did I lose you?
You told me I heard something about a thing to the east, a ledge,
Oh,
but it
yeah.
was more at the beginning. It was just kind of garbled.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's you're kind of down in a depressed pit, like a stone floored pit, and there's two ramps on either side, here and here, that lead up to two doors. Also on either side, there's a pair of sconces at far ends of the room that provide a small amount of light, but not nearly enough to help really brighten the room up. You get more light from the crack in the wall that is about 10 to 15 feet up in the eastern wall.
Okay, so I'm gonna position myself on the eastern side, so I'm kind of like a head over, and I assume all the
Oh, you cut out a bit. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Did we lose him?
Sorry about that. It's so annoying how my phone app will just cut out like that. Okay, so I heard that. I'm gonna move to the eastern side of the room, and I
Okay.
assume all these people are already friendly to me, or
They're scared, but they're looking at you and they're asking, "Do you think we're gonna survive this?"
I'm gonna open up with a joke to try and get them to be friendly to me. I'm gonna say, "What's a pirate's favorite letter?" Oh no! Why couldn't the kid go see his favorite pirate movie? Because it was rated R. All right, this is 14. Is that enough to make them friendly to me?
I'm gonna say give me a persuasion check instead.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it!
One of them just looks at the ground, starts to
Fuck.
sob. The other one says, "We're all gonna die."
God damn it.
One starts to wail inconsolably.
Well, shit. It's gonna make this worse. I was trying to get them friendly so I could take a short rest and just tell them a story about, I don't know, one of the seasons of Survivor.
So it's not that they're not friendly. It's more that they're scared out of their minds. They think that they're going to die.
Of course. Well,
They don't think they're going to survive.
Okay. I guess the Song of Rest wouldn't really matter that much, but I assume it would make them at least slightly more, slightly more spry and active. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just say like, yeah, you guys are probably right. There's like a whole like raising the dead thing going on here. I'm sure that dude's either getting tortured or turned into some type of abomination. I mean, hopefully he's a sacrifice. That's honestly the best option.
One
Yeah.
starts to weep even harder. Just.
Poor guy.
God.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I meant to read that. I didn't mean to cast it.
So, let you. Any other plans to try to, figure out what's going on in here, or?
I guess, yeah, I just kind of... Actually, you know what? The